Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. It is Sunday night. My wife and I went to the movies today. On the way to the movies, we put the radio on, which I very rarely listen to the radio. And turns out they're playing a great old song that I haven't heard in a long time. And we had the best time. We were singing it. And it's one of those songs where on the album, there's two songs back to back, and you have to play both of those songs. And we just had the greatest time, and inspiration hit me. I'm like, there's my next video right there. My favorite Segue songs, the greatest Segue songs. Two songs back to back on an album that you have to play both of those songs. Otherwise, it just feels incomplete. So there you have it. I came back from the movies. I brainstormed. I don't know if this video has ever been done on another channel. Let me know. I did not research this because I never like my videos to be influenced by somebody else's choices. So I think you're going to enjoy this one. I came up with 16 songs. Why 16? Because that's what I came up with. I didn't want to cut any of these out. All right, let's get right into it. And they are ranked my favorite top 16 song segues, back-to-back songs on an album that have to be played together. This one's going deep at number 16. I don't know if you remember these guys. It's the Kings. And it's an album called The Kings Are Here. Here is the vinyl. Produced by none other than Bob Ezrin. And when this album came out, man, the first two songs, This Beat Goes On and Switch Into Glide, got a lot of radio play. And I wound up getting a promo copy of the album. And the rest of the album is good. But those two songs, This Beat Goes On, Switch Into Glide, classic, and they still sound great. If you never heard them, check it out. The second song, nothing happens for the weekend, dun, 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 from a Tuesday point of view, switching to glide. Ring a bell? Not with my vocals. Amazing track. And that's at number 16. The Kings Are Here is the album. This Beat Goes On, switching to glide. At number 15. A favorite Long Island band. That's right, David Kunsley, Long Island band. That originally from New Orleans. But they are definitely a Long Island band. And that is Zebra. And this is one of my favorite debut albums of all time. And song number 4 is a thing called As I Said Before. Really good track. But when that song fades out, it goes into the 12-string acoustic guitar opening of the legendary track, Who's Behind the Door. As I said before, and Who's Behind the Door, number 15 of my all-time favorite segues on an album. Number 14, we're going deep, and that is the Moody Blues. Do you remember this one? On the Threshold of a Dream. Great classic Moody Blues album. And buried on that, towards the end of the album, is Have You Heard The Voyage? And then Have You Heard Part 2? And I love that track. I just think it's awesome. And I actually discovered it. My very first Moody Blues album was this one called Caught Live Plus 5. And this is the remastered CD. I had this double vinyl album. Got it from Columbia House. And that's where I discovered a lot of these tracks. Is Have You Heard The Voyage and Have You Heard Part 2. It is great. Now, I know that's 3 tracks, but it's really only 2 tracks because Have You Heard repeats itself. So, the Moody Blues, Have You Heard The Voyage and Have You Heard Part 2 at number 14. Number 13, this is for Steve Harold. You got to go to the debut Van Halen album. And the legendary guitar workout of Eruption, which goes into their cover version of You Really Got Me. That was so popular here, and the Kinks were always like a cult band, although by the time of that album, the Kinks' profile was a lot bigger. But I can't tell you how many people thought You Really Got Me was actually a Van Halen song, and then when they heard the Kinks kind of redo it on their live record, they were like, oh, the Kinks are covering Van Halen. Funny times. Van Halen, number 13 with Eruption and You Really Got Me. At number 12 is a little bit controversial because in my mind, it was always 2 separate tracks on the album, but now that I looked at it, it's actually 1 track with a sideways thing there, or whatever you call that in English. But there it is, Foreplay into Long Time. They do go together here on track 3 on the debut classic Boston album, but they really are 2 separate tracks if you listen to it. Very much kind of like that Eruption in a sense, since You Really Got Me. Foreplay, just a great musical opening for long time. So that's at number 12. At number 11, one of the all-time great segues from Queen's album News of the World. It is a bit overplayed, but it is no less take away from its, incredible tunage right there. We are talking about We Will Rock You, which goes into We Are the Champions, the opening of News of the World by Queen. And yeah, that is one hell of an incredible segue and a great way to open the album. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions from Queen at number 11. And we'll stick that, maybe we'll stick that one, how about we stick that one over there? Okay, at number 10, going deep, but I love this one. This is another natural segue from the album John Barleycorn Must Die from Traffic. The opening is the instrumental Glad, which goes into Freedom Rider. Unbelievable. Steve Winwood and Jim Cabaldi and Chris Wood. Love this album, and that is a great opening segue. Again, Glad and Freedom Rider for me at number 10. Number 9, a pretty obvious one that a lot of people are going to be thinking about, and for good reason. It's the opening of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from the Beatles, and the title track, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which then goes into the Ringo song vocal of With a Little Help from My Friends. If you hear the opening, when you hear Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, you are totally expecting to hear With a Little Help from My Friends. They just, of course, go together. And other people might think about Abbey Road, where the whole second side is basically a song segue. I didn't pick that one because I'm trying to limit it to 2 songs, and these are, in some cases, kind of like fragments, but it certainly is classic. It's the Beatles' Abbey Road. Let's keep going. At number 8, maybe kind of forgotten, but in its time, man, this album ruled it for us in high school when it came out. The opening album, the debut album from the Cars. And side 2 opened up with You're All I've Got Tonight into Bye Bye Love. And you remember that break, and then the drums come in, and that goes into Bye Bye Love. Absolutely fantastic. One of the great debut albums of all time, and dare I say, a perfect album, the Cars debut album. Number 7, we are going classic. Man, I used to hear this growing up on the radio all the time, and they always had to play the 2 tracks together. Talk about a natural segue. We're talking about Led Zeppelin 2, and you know what we're talking about, the opening of side 2, which was Heartbreaker, and that went into Living, Loving Maid, She's Just a Woman. You really can't hear one without the other. At least I can. Nowadays, maybe when they play it, maybe they don't do that anymore. But certainly when I was growing up on the radio, it was always Heartbreaker into Living, Loving Maid. Had to be done. Next up is number 6, and we are talking about Pink Floyd and Dark Side of the Moon. This is a nice version I have of it. I have a lot of them. This is a surround sound one, and it certainly ends in the most perfect way. Track 9, Brain Damage, which goes right into Eclipse, and it is perfection and an incredibly powerful, amazing way to end the legendary Dark Side of the Moon. We are talking about at number 6, Brain Damage and Eclipse. Now, there's other Pink Floyd ones we could have chosen, and I love the ones from The Wall. Certainly, the happiest. What is it? The happiest days of our lives, and Another Brick in the Wall. That's a great one. It's actually Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, Happiest Days of Our Lives, and then Another Brick Part 2. That's a great segue. Another one on here that is equally amazing, in my opinion, is Empty Spaces into Young Lust. That's another one that's incredible. But you got to go with the Dark Side of the Moon one. It is perfection for sure. Okay, that was number 6. At number 5, we're really going into my favorites right now. And I loved and still love the opening of Venus and Mars from Paul McCartney and Wings. And that is Venus and Mars that goes into Rock Show. It is a phenomenal opening segue. I love it. And I love it so much because he opened up the 1976 tour, which you could get on Wings Over America. And that opens up also with the same thing. Rock Show and Venus and Mars and Rock Show. An amazing opening as well. That's number 5. Number 4, we're going to go to the Allman Brothers Band, and really they don't get any better than the opening of their debut album, which here it is on Beginnings, because you can see it nice and clearly right there. Don't Want You No More, which is the instrumental, and that goes right into It's Not My Cross to Bear. It is incredible, chill-inducing music from the Allman Brothers Band. That is always a natural segue. Here's a good live version from not one of their better live records, Wipe the Windows, Check the Oil, Dollar Gas, but it is a good version on this album as well. Right there, Don't Want You No More, It's Not My Cross to Bear, from the Allman Brothers. And that is, for me, number 4. We're getting to the nitty-gritty. What was the song we heard in the car today that we were singing that got me inspired to do this whole video? That's my number 3 choice, and it is Jackson Browne from Running on Empty. And everybody, this album is perfection to me. I love this album. But right there, the ending of the album, track 9 is The Loadout, which goes into track 10, Stay. And it is exciting, and we had the best time singing it today, I gotta tell you. We just loved it. Just brought me right back. I hadn't heard it in so long, and it was so great. So there you have it, Jackson Browne and Running on Empty, and The Loadout and Stay, and that is number 3. There are 2 left, 2 of my favorite ones, and I was going back and forth, debating which are the number 1 and number 2. And you'll see what I went with. Number 2, I went with David Bowie and the opening of Diamond Dogs. And I have said, I think the opening of Diamond Dogs, which is Future Legend, which is a sci-fi opening, if you've never heard it, go do me a favor, do yourself a favor, lay on a couch, put it on loud, shut the lights off. If that doesn't spook you and get you in the most eerie mood, then nothing will. Because Future Legend is the most incredible opening of any album. And that's the opening of Diamond Dogs. And then it goes into the title track, Diamond Dogs. It is an incredible, chill-inducing opening that I love to death. And that is my number 2 choice of all-time favorite segue song segues, 2 songs back to back. I didn't put it number 1 only because Future Legend is really more an opening as opposed to a song, but it's perfect for Diamond Dogs. So what's my number 1 all-time favorite song segue, back-to-back songs on an album? We're going to go with Elton John from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, probably my favorite Elton John song album of all time, and the opening is incredible. Funeral for a Friend, which goes into Love Lies Bleeding. It doesn't get any better than that as far as song segues and even opening of albums. That is just incredible. So there you go, my top 16 all-time favorite, greatest song segues, songs back-to-back on an album that you have to play both of those songs, otherwise it just feels incomplete. Here it is, folks. I always type it up for you so you can see it. There it is. Favorite song segues. 16, The Kings. This Beat Goes On, Switching to Glide. Number 15, Zebra. As I said before, Who's Behind the Door? Number 14, The Moody Blues. Have You Heard? The Voyage. Have You Heard? 13, Van Halen with Eruption and You Really Got Me. Number 12, Boston, Foreplay and Long Time. That one's a bit of a cheat because they really are listed as one track now. Number 11, Queen, We Are the Champions, and We Will Rock You. Number 10, Traffic, Glad, and Freedom Rider. Number 9, with the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with a little help from my friends. Number 8, The Cars, You're All I've Got Tonight, and Bye Bye Love. Number 7, Led Zeppelin with Heartbreaker and Livin' Lovin' Maid, She's Just a Woman. Number 6, Pink Floyd, Brain Damage and Eclipse from Dark Side of the Moon. Number 5, Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars, and Rock Show. Great opener on Wings Over America, too. Number 4, the Allman Brothers Band with Don't Want You No More, and It's Not My Cross to Bear, their opening gambit on their debut album. Number 3, Jackson Browne, the closing of Running on Empty with The Loadout and Stay. Number 2, David Bowie's opening to Diamond Dogs, Future Legend and Diamond Dogs. And number 1, Elton John, the opening of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Funeral for a Friend, and Love Lies Bleeding. There you have it. Send me your choices. What did I forget? I just did this in really 2 hours, I think, just thinking about it, writing it down, and picking them up from the shelves. But I think I kind of captured it really well. It's a fun topic. Let me know if anybody else has done this, because, boy, this was pure inspiration from listening to the radio. That's about it. If you have never subscribed to my channel, please do. Help my channel to grow. What do you need to know? I've been doing this for over 5 years. I have 465 videos and a lot of playlists. So if you want to go into the backlog on my channel, go to playlists. If you like the Rolling Stones, there's a Rolling Stones playlist alone with 53 videos. There's a lot to check out. There are concept videos like this, which is called Discographies by Topic. There's a lot to check out. As always, I appreciate your support, and send me your comments. I love going back to back. It's a lot of fun when we do that. And I hope you had a good weekend here in America. We are off tomorrow for Memorial Day, including I'm off tomorrow as well. So should be hopefully a good day off. Thanks as always. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.